Alright guys, the Will Wonder here again today. And today guys, I'm doing the championship predictions for this season. So, let's get to it. To finish bottom three guys, I've got Burton to finish bottom, Millwall second bottom, and then Bolton just above them. Bolton and Millwall, I think they've just come up. Millwall have done a lot of business already in the transfer window. Bolton have done a bit as well. But I just feel that it just isn't going to be enough. And no matter how much business you do, it's about your players that you get in and how they gel. And I think it might be a little bit too much for Millwall and Bolton. Burton, I just have this feeling that they're just going to go down. You know, they did alright last season, don't get me wrong, but I just have this feeling they're just going to go down. Now, above them, guys, I've got Barnsley just to survive the relegation. I do like Barnsley. I think they're a good team, but I also think that they lack that bit, and they have sold some of their best players who was on form for them at the end of last season, Conor Houahan being one of them. I also feel that Bristol City will finish above them, mainly because the same reason as Barnsley, they've lost a lot of firepower, Tammy Abraham being that one, and I don't know if they can actually replace him. There are a lot of players out there, but they're probably going to go to bigger clubs. But I do think Bristol City will stay up, just won't do as well. Now, guys, in 19th and 18th, I've got Sheffield United and Preston. Now, Sheffield United have done a bit of business. I know they've signed Richard Stearman for a fact, and that's a good bit of business. You know, he's got championship experience, premiership experience as well. Not the best player, not the worst player. Preston, they've still got hold of some of their key players like Jordan Hugill and that, who really hit form last season. Not saying he's brilliant or he's even good. Some people might say he's not even championship quality. But at the end of last season, he really switched it on and he got a lot of goals for Preston. I think he's a good player. And a lot of teams have been rumoured after him. But still one of those where we're still going to have to wait and see to see what happens. Now, guys, the next three, I'm going with Ipswich, QPR, and then Sunderland in 15th. Now, Ipswich, they have got a few players in, and like Emre Hughes and Dominic Iorfa. But I always think Mick McCarthy teams are good for a season or two. Then teams start to figure them out. Then they start to win less, lose more, draw. You know, it's like that. And I think that this season a lot of teams are going to be used to Mick McCarthy's team and are going to be able to counter it. Not so that they lose too many games to go down, but they're just going to finish about the last place as last season, I see it. But that's my opinion. QPR, sort of the same, you know. Ian Holloway, still there. I hope he can do really well with the club. I do like him as a manager, but maybe last season I saw some good moments, some bad moments. I think it's going to be another inconsistent season for them, and I see them finishing 16th. Now, Sunderland, guys, 15th. Simple reasons. It took them a bit of time to find a manager in Simon Grayson, which is also a big blow for Preston. Maybe a good thing for Sunderland. However, taking that long, they lost players like Defoe, definitely a big loss. They've lost a goalkeeper in Mane, Pickford. They're losing a lot of players. They have signed a few like Aidan McGeady and that, but I just don't see it being their season. I think this season is just going to be a rebuilding season, finish mid-table, and then build on from that next season. That's how I see Sunderland going. Now, guys, up to 11th, I've got, in this order, Nottingham Forest in 14th, Leeds in 13th, Birmingham in 12th, and Hull City in 11th. Now, guys, Nottingham Forest, big blow. Britta Summer-Belonga has left to join Middlesbrough, I do believe. And yeah, that's a big blow already. But I think Forest have also been in a transfer market, and Mark Warburton is a manager who knows this division and has done well in this division. And his football is also good. And when he first came in towards the end of last season, well, about just after halfway in about February, something like that, and Wolves beat them 1-0. I do have to be honest, Forest were a very strong side, and that was just the beginning bit, and I think he can build on that and finish mid-table to try and work on that. Leeds I've put just above them simply because Gary Monk left them, so I'm thinking they're going to start the whole cycle again, but they never seem to go down. They just seem to finish mid-table over and over again. I think this season's going to be another mid-table for Leeds, but they still have some good key players, so maybe they could finish a bit higher, but that's where I've put them on my list. Birmingham in 12th, guys, definitely better than last season. They've already signed Davy Stockdale. They're after Robbie Keane and the likes of that, and that's pretty good. You know, Davy Stockdale in itself was a shock to me, but let's also look at it, guys. I don't see them doing I just see them finishing mid-table. I can't see much more than that. Fair enough, Harry Redknapp kept them up, but I think there's maybe a few other teams in there that can easily finish above. Well, not easily finish above them, but with the players they have, if they perform on their days, can finish above Birmingham. But Birmingham will not be a pushover this season, and maybe with a few more signings, they could actually push higher up that table. But that's where I have put them. In 11th, I've put Hull City. Now, they've got a manager in with no experience of this league. They've lost a lot of players. Only got a 1 or 2 in, something like that. So, you know, it's just one of those for them, really. I just think the manager and the players are going to have to take time to adapt, and I think that could be a bit costly for them to try and get straight back into the Premier League, but I don't see them being threatened by the lower half of the table, so just in the top half of the table. Now, 10th and 9th, guys, I've got Brentford and Cardiff. Brentford, they always seem to do it, don't they? You know, Mark Warburton was there, changed all this, you know, then dropped the standards. But Dean Smith is their manager. He's starting to build this squad like he did at Warsaw that can consistently finish somewhere. And I think they'll finish 10th this season. I think they'll have a pretty decent season. Cardiff, guys, I'm not a bigger fan of Neil Warnock, not going to lie, but gotta be honest, he did an outstanding job with Cardiff last season, and I think this season they'll finish 9th. I'm saying that, you know, I think they'll literally just be, I think the points between 9th and 6th will be very close, you know, so Cardiff, I think they'll just miss out this season, but next season, who knows. 8th and 7th, guys, just missing out on the playoffs. I'm going to put Sheffield Wednesday and Reading. I think Sheffield Wednesday will miss out on it this season. I think due to the fact that, well, they seem to have a lot of decent strikers, but I just don't see Sheffield Wednesday hitting back into the playoffs this year. I think they'll just miss out. I also think Reading will just miss out by even more. Well, no, not as much. You know, they'll just be scraping it. But Yapstam has done a great job there, set them up really well. So I think Reading will finish 7th. Now, guys, for the top 6. I'm not doing this because I'm biased, but in 6th, 5th and 4th, guys, I've got Wolves in 6th, Fulham in 4th and Derby in 5th. Derby in 4th and Fulham in 5th. I think Wolves will finish 6th because not because we've spent big, but the fact that just looking at the team, look at the 3-4-3 off the friendlies, looking at stuff like that, we look solid. We've signed a few more players. We've signed someone today on loan from Monaco, but the point is, you know, we seem to be settling into this 3-4-3. So I think we ain't going to do incredibly well and win the league, but I think we will just scrape into the playoffs with a solid back, and we still need more players up front. With Fulham, guys, I think they will finish 5th simply because they will let goals in, but they will score a ton as well. Ryan Sessegnon, for example, what a player he is. And they've got the likes of Kevin McDonald in the midfield pulling strings, Tom Kearney still as well. So they've got good players there, and I think they'll just strengthen from last season, finish in the playoffs again, and who knows, maybe this time could be their year. Derby in 4th, guys, Gary Warrett's there. Gary Warrett just works his magic like he did at Birmingham. It'll make the team absolutely strong like he always does, and I think Derby will have a good season and finish 4th. I also think, guys, in 3rd place will be Norwich City, just scraping off the top 2. Norwich, I like Norwich. They've got Britta Sumberlonger now. No, I haven't. Sorry, one club. Right, no, they've been after a few players and that, but I just see them doing well. I just see it. I just see it happening. There's no reasoning behind it. I just see it happening. Top 2, guys. 2nd place, Villa. They've signed John Terry in that this year. You know, fair play to them. I'm saying it. You know, I think they'll do really well. I think they'll finish 2nd, and I think they'll be in the Premier League again. And they've got Steve Bruce who knows how to do this. But the winners of the Championship, I think, will be Middlesbrough. Now, they haven't done the most fascinating transfer news like signing Ruben Neves for 15 million. No, but I do think what Middlesbrough have done is that they've got Gary Monkin, who's had a really good season and has played some good football. They've got Britta Summerbelonger in with firepower, and they're looking at good, suitable transfer targets. And I think Middlesbrough will go straight back up. And don't forget, most of the team they've already got are players that have got promoted with Middlesbrough, so they also have that advantage. So I see Middlesbrough going straight back up as the champions. And that is my predictions, guys. Put in the comments your predictions. I know some of you will disagree. I know some of you might have similar readings. So, guys, these are all my opinions. And don't forget, there's 2 weeks left before the season kicks off as well. So a lot could change, you know. Teams like that I've put lower down, like Forest, could go out and spend about 10 million on 3 or 4 brilliant players and win the league. So it can all happen. Football is just one of those games, especially in the Championship. And guys, I will speak to you guys later.